Hi guys, welcome to LDFS. I'm Dr. Lakshmi. Today we'll be discussing about how to differentiate your clinic from your competitors. Now the journey of differentiating your clinic lies in finding your unique value proposition, that is UVP. So in my earlier video, we have discussed what is UVP and why every dental clinic should have a UVP. If you have not watched that video, the link is there in the description below. Now let's proceed with today's video. The journey of finding your UVP can be divided into 3 steps. The first step is to understand who is your target audience. Define the target audience. So when you're defining your target audience, define in as much depth as possible. Like what do they like, where do they hang out, which social media they use the most, and maybe how often do they visit dentist, how do they find dentist, etc. So when you define them in as much detail as possible, that will help you in a lot of ways. It will help you to understand the second step, that is what matters them the most. That is the second step of finding your UVP. Now, in this step, you need to focus on those things which matters them. It can be convenience, it can be customer experience, it can be the budget treatments. You need to list down all the things that matters. And after listing down, you have to choose one thing which you are passionate about. Because always remember, there will be situations in your clinic when you may have to choose between your UVP and something which is more tempting. Maybe it can be money, it can be anything. But always remember, always you should choose your UVP, because that is what is creating your brand. So never dilute that. So whenever any situation like this or dilemma like this happen, choose your UVP. So you have to be very passionate about that UVP. So when you wrote down all the things which matters, choose one which you are passionate about personally. Okay, so that's the second step. In the third step, we need to understand how to deliver that matters them the most. Now in this step, we need to find ways by which we can deliver the one thing which you have chosen in the second step. So I'll explain this with the help of an example. So I'll take my example itself. Okay. So after defining my target population, what I did was I wrote down all the things that matters them the most in the second step. There was a customer experience, there was convenience, etc., etc. I have chosen customer experience. Okay. Now let's suppose you have chosen convenience as the the thing what matters them. Now in the third step, how to deliver. If you have chosen convenience, think about ways by which you can reduce their visits to your dental clinic. Like it can be a single sitting root canal, or you have a tie up with a lab where they can deliver the crown within 1 hour itself. Or it can be something like they always one chair will be available for whenever they want appointment. So like that, you have to think about ways of giving them that convenience, focusing on that convenience part and giving them different ideas or ways by which your clinic will help them in what matters them the most. Okay, so like that. So what I have done is I have chosen customer experience. Now definitely every clinic does that. I'm not saying that every clinic doesn't do that. Every clinic greets them smile with a smile and everything. But in your how, when you're answering that how, you need to find some ways by which you can be different, you can be unique. So even if it is convenience, think about different ways by which you can do it. So what I did was, in the customer experience, I sat with my team. I first wrote down the touch bases which I have with my patient. Now, what do I mean by touch bases? Whenever the patient comes in contact with my clinic, it can be there are 5 touch bases which are there. First is when they call for booking the appointment for the first time. Second is when they visit, the experience they have in the reception area. Third, when they are seated in the dental chair and when we are treating them. That's the third touch base. Fourth is when they proceed towards the payment option. Fifth is after the follow-ups. So these were the 5 touch bases where we can give them that experience in a unique way. Okay, so after writing down the touch bases, we as a team, we wrote down different ways by which we can improve that experience. We can improve their payment experience, or we improve their experience in the chat, everything. So we wrote down maybe around 10-15 ways. After that, we cut short and we have found 5 ways by which we can deliver those things. Now always remember, it's never only you, you as a dentist who will deliver the UVP. The UVP has to be delivered by the whole staff. So always consider your team as a part of finding your UVP, because that will help them understand your UVP, and that will help you that they will be delivering those things without you monitoring them. So make them a part of the journey. Okay, so now once you find your UVP, and now you have found the ways, sorry, now you are finding the ways how to do it, right? You're answering the how part. I'll tell you 5 ways by which we, thought we'll deliver that. First was the explanation. We will explain each and everything to the patient, irrespective of age or anything. We will explain the treatments in detail. We will explain why is it required. We will explain the x-rays which we have taken from them. We will explain the payment plan. We will explain the after treatment, any symptoms they'll have. Everything will be explained to them before even them asking us. So that was the first thing which we implemented. So after that, and this explanation part is followed by even my staff. Like if my receptionist is calling them to cancel an appointment, they will give an explanation why they are canceling it, and then give them another appointment. So this explanation has to be done in every scenarios in my clinic, with every experience that the patient has. That's the first thing which we implemented. Second thing was payment option. Now, in the payment option, we wanted to have them a good experience by giving them all the options which are available. It can be, the online medium, or the GPay, or Paytm, or card, or cash, anything. So we were providing them with all the options which are available, and they were the person who were choosing. There was no extra charge for any of the payment method. That was the second thing which we implemented. Third thing what we implemented was communication. We wanted to create a bond by communicating in their mother tongue. That is what we were targeting about. So what we did was, our staff, we made it such that it's a multilingual approach. Like we had covered all the languages, not all the languages, but majority of the languages from whom my population used to come. So we covered 6 languages. First was Malayalam, then Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, English. So these were the 6 languages which were covered in my clinic. So whenever somebody comes from any of these languages, we will explain everything in their mother tongue, so that they understand it better, they are more comfortable with us, and the communication becomes very smooth. So that's the other thing, multilingual approach. Now the fourth thing what we implemented was the wait time. Now, whenever the patient comes, we wanted them to have a minimum wait time, and because people usually get bored during, if it's a long wait time, half an hour and all, and they get irritated. So we wanted to reduce as much possible and make it 0 to 5 minutes, not more than that. So whenever somebody takes appointment and visits us, we always make sure we take that appointment at the right time. If by some reason, for some maybe some surgery is going on, something, and it takes more than the required time, then we will inform the patient before the appointment itself, and we will apologize, and maybe we'll give the same appointment, or we'll ask them to choose another appointment in their convenient time. We'll give them that option. So that is how we have done the fourth point, that is a wait time reduction, to give them a good experience, because we were focusing on the customer experience. That's the fourth thing. Fifth thing what we implemented was to make them comfortable. We wanted to give them the best experience when they are visiting our clinic. We wanted to create a good memory to them. So to make them comfortable, sometimes even after explaining everything, you must have experienced the same thing, that just we start with the erotor and they start jumping in a dental chair. right? So we wanted to make them as much comfortable as possible. And for that, what our way was, rather, there will be other ways too, but this was my approach. What we did was, we ask them, like, I'll give you example, I'll help explain with the help of example. So there were two cases, where one case was around a 90-year-old lady. She was undergoing total extraction and CD with us. So we know a series of appointment will be there with her. To make her comfortable, we started chatting with her and asked her what is she's which music does she like. So she was a great fan of Kishore Kumar. So whenever her appointment was there, we will play the music in background of Kishore Kumar songs. And this has become a routine. My staff also knew about this. So whenever her appointment was there, before that itself, the Kishore Kumar songs will be playing in the background. So she will have a good experience when she enters the clinic. That has become a routine, and this is only possible when your team also understands your UVP. So that is why I earlier said that it is very important for your team to understand your UVP. So that was one example. Another example was a 13-year-old girl was there who had to undergo 9 fillings with us, and she was leaving the next day, so she had to undergo that day itself. So what she was also having the same problem. Like whenever we started drilling, she started jumping. We made her understand everything, we explained everything to her, but then also she wasn't so much comfortable. Then we asked her the music which she was willing for, she was interested in. She has introduced me towards the Korean pop songs. She told me that her favorite songs are the Korean pop. Then we found on YouTube those songs and then played in the background. Slowly she became very comfortable with that. She was happy, and at the end she was very cooperative and very happy. In fact, her parent came to us and said thank you so much. And she was never happy with any of the treatments which she has done earlier. uh, this was the first time when she came out very with a happy face. So that we know now, we have made comfortable, we made her comfortable, made the 90-year-old lady comfortable. So that was the approach. These were the 5 ways: the explanation, having multilingual approach, the payment option, the wait time, and to making them comfortable through music or any other manner. So these were the 5 ways by which we have delivered, or we have implemented our UVP of customer experience. So now, after delivering also, how will you know that your UVP is successful? We'll know our UVP is successful when the patient feels about it. So you should never tell your patient that my UVP is customer experience, but they should feel the ways by which we are delivering, and that can be seen in the reviews which they write. So I'll show you, share my screen and show you my reviews which are there in Practo. So here, if you see, majority have written friendliness, explanation, wait time, friendliness, explanation, wait time, treatment satisfaction. So most common is friendliness and the explanation. So we know we are on right track. We know whatever we are trying to deliver them, they are liking it. So that is how you can understand whether your UVP is successful or not. And the most successful UVP creates a very great memory in the mind of the patient, and trust me, that will help them come back to only you and not anybody else, even if they shift somewhere far. Okay, I hope this video was useful for you guys. Kindly like and share. And if you want to subscribe you in the broadcast list, message us hi on this number. Whenever we are releasing some video or anything, you will be the first person to receive on WhatsApp. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.